music does it for me. It gets me as hyped up as the other one. But here we are, Sunday, March 16th. We are last Sunday when we went live. There was news popping, trades happening. It's kind of a crazy Sunday. I think that after you got off was the Metcalf trade, I believe. After you got off, so yeah, it was. That's not going to happen this Sunday, unfortunately. But we're here. We're doing a startup mock draft. And I need to send you guys the link here in the chat. So I'm going to do that now. Mike's here. Great name. You can join that, our startup. Mid. You sound like your daughter. You're learning from her the slang.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's up?
I said I'm hip.
Well, I think you saying that, it just cancels that out.
Yeah, it's Dr. Evil. I'm hip.
What do they say now for hip? Mid is like mid. It's like meh. It's like it's like I interpret it as it's not like great, it's not bad, it's kind of mid, right in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Yeah. But maybe it means something else. There's something else. I'm trying to think of the equivalent to say I'm hip. So I don't know what that is.
Well, I haven't heard that since the 70s or something like that. So.
Yeah, James, we're doing well. How are you doing? We're doing great on this Sunday. Weather's warming up a bit, more daylight, so it's nice. It's good. It's good. We got most of the free agency done, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we wait for people to join this Dynasty startup draft here. We already got some people in, so we got some more spots. We got, 6 spots left. If anyone wants to hop in and claim those spots, you are more than welcome.
I like that Ultimate Tiger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at that icon. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Red Wings, Lions,
yep.
Pistons, and Tigers.
The only thing that's missing is Michigan.
Yeah. No. What about the does Detroit have an MLS team?
I don't think so.
They're
I think they tried to, but I don't know. Something fell apart. I don't know.
Yeah. San Diego just got one. I think it's MLS. Maybe it's one of the other
they've had
divisions.
Yeah.
James says it's his first day off in a week and a half. Well, glad you're spending it with us, James. Appreciate it. But yeah, we are doing a Dynasty startup mock draft here. We got 5 spots available. Link is in the description here, so go ahead and claim it. We'll give it about 5-10 minutes before we get started. Don't want to keep the people waiting that we have waiting, but free agency is kind of wrapped up. I know we got Rodgers still to fall, which we talked about yesterday for the quarterbacks, but other positions it's basically wrapped up for now. Brian, you kind of weren't here. You weren't here for a discussion with a lot of the stuff we were talking about, and we didn't even get to all of it, to be honest. But I don't know, any particular move in general you like. You can start with quarterbacks if you want, like Geno, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields. Any of those that excite you for Dynasty?
No, not really. I mean, definitely, Darnold's value and along with Fields went up because they actually got contracts, right? Or they at least got a year to do something. So they went from a big question mark to solidified. The Daniel Jones one could be interesting, but
I think so too. Yeah.
If you can get anything for him, I don't think I'm going as low as a 3rd round pick. I think I'd rather just hold on to him. But I was gonna say, if you can get anything to him from the Anthony Richardson manager, I think it's a good move.
I made a bold statement.
On
one of our previous podcasts that Daniel Jones, about a 75% chance that he's the opening day starter.
75, huh?
It's pretty high.
Yeah.
And that's without injury, by the way. Or are you factoring in injury?
No injury. It was just
Okay.
he's gonna beat out Richardson.
Yeah. The thing that's in his favor is that, like we talked about it, I don't know, whenever we talked about it, I guess Wednesday or Thursday, that the coach, Steichen, like he needs to win. He's on his third year. If he doesn't win, he's gone. So like it's going to be a very short leash for Anthony Richardson. But
a few coaches like that. The general manager's in the same boat. It's like, hey, you're the one that drafted him, and the guy's well, he's not very good. So as an NFL quarterback, even though he's a physical Adonis, if I could say that word, but honestly, scratch your head on his play,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that say there's people running wide open in that offense, and he just can't hit them. So, Paul, we're doing a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.25 tight end premium. So tight ends are getting 2.25 per reception in this mock draft. We're doing that because that's one of the settings in one of our listener leagues that we'll be doing, or should be drafting April 6th, unless something comes up. So about basically 3 weeks from today, right around this time, 3 weeks from now, we'll be drafting. So we're kind of doing a little bit of prep for that league there. I believe that league is going to be the first. Yeah, that's the PPR league. So we do have 3 spots open. We're going to start this up at 5:15 my time, 4:15 West Coast time, 7:15 East Coast time. So you got 4 minutes to join. We got 3 spots open. It would be nice to get that filled, but Kevin, how's it going?
What about Central Time?
Central Time was at 6:15, and then Hawaiian time is 2:15. Is that right? Are they 2 hours behind California?
I think they're 3 hours now.
3 hours?
3 or 4?
Jeez. So they watch football at 7 in the morning.
7 a.m. That's right.
Damn.
7 a.m. on Sunday morning when they do. I think they're another state that doesn't do daylight saving. So them in Arizona.
Time of year. Yeah.
They're the smart ones.
It's interesting. Like what? So what? Your football Sunday is over at what? Like 5 or 6, and you still have a decent amount of the night to enjoy. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Kevin says, does Fields have a better year than Anthony Richardson?
Yes.
He's more secure into that job.
I think so.
Yeah. I think he's better, hopefully, hopefully he can just perform a little better, I heard some smack talk about him on XM radio, that he doesn't actually this morning, he doesn't see the whole field and, that whole thing. But it's like, I don't know, man. He's had a lot of starts in the NFL. So what is he in his
Fields?
5th year? Yeah. 5th, 6th year?
This would be his 5th year, yeah. His 5th year. I mean, Steelers were 4-2 with him, and they almost beat the Colts in that stretch and would have been 5-1. He brought them back and almost beat them. So, I mean, you've proven you can win with him. So, I mean, at least the Steelers did for 6 games, I think it was. By the way, guys, we got 1 minute warning before we start this up. 3 spots left. Love to get those filled. If you want to mock draft with us, link is right here. I'll resend it as well, the invite link. But I don't know. I still believe what's nice about guys like Richardson and Fields is guys, there's other guys out there that's like, okay, you need them to not only get the job, but also be good. Whereas, like for fantasy, that is. Whereas, for the guys like Fields and Richardson, if they're starting, they're going to be good for fantasy. So it's pretty nice to have like that. Like you kind of have half the battle done. You just need to get them to maintain a job or at least for a year or something.
And that's the hard part for them, right? Like they need to prove their worth on the NFL field for a team to actually keep starting them. I'm interested in what's going to happen with Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields. We saw a good year with DJ Moore and Fields. Mm-hmm. And
they were college teammates.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Did they play like 1 year together or 2?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I can't. I'm not sure.
I think they played multiple years. So Garrett Wilson was 2019 to 2020 in college, and Justin Fields was 2018 to 2020. So 2 years there. And Justin Fields started 22 games while Garrett Wilson was there. So assuming Wilson was healthy for most of those. All right, we're going to start this up. We're just going to start it up. I think I'm going to let the teams that are not claimed here. I think I'm just going to leave it to auto pick. Just makes it a little bit easier. This is a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.25 tight end premium. So that's 2.25 points per reception for tight ends. This is a Dynasty league. There is a third round reversal as well. And we're going to start this bad boy up. But yeah, they got that college connection. Yeah, DJ Moore's best year was with Fields. So and it was a legit year. It wasn't just like, it was pretty good. It was 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns and almost 100 catches. So which is kind of crazy because I think Fields only threw for like 2,600 yards that year. So you see 5 straight quarterbacks off the board. Daniels, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and Hurts. Is Burrow over Lamar, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know. Just doing something a little different. I think obviously like Lamar has the greater ceiling, I guess, but I think they're pretty close. And I know we're playing 6 point per passing touchdown, so that brings them closer together, more confident in Burrow, like longer term, even though you can't really think about much past a 2 or 3 year window.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot what I was going to say. No,
I was going to say too, like something I kind of thought about, like we saw a big step forward with Lamar last year, and it's like that might be what it is, with the strong run game,
Yeah.
But I'm just I'm a little curious what that's going to look like going forward.
I forgot to mention there are rookies in this draft, and we saw the first one go, Ashton Genty, off the board. So as the RB3, which is where he is ranked. So rookies are here. So we'll see as kind of sleepers working out its ADP a little bit, and I think we help it whenever we draft. So by the way, One Pride 14, is that another Lions fan there? We got 3 Lions fans in here. Damn.
What?
Oh man.
Potentially. I mean, I just see One Pride. So.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, isn't that the Lions like slogan or something?
I don't know. It changes every year.
You're up, Mike.
Yeah. I'm just seeing what we got here. Caleb Williams goes at the 203. Amon-Ra, BTJ. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take my boy Drake May, taking him over Herbert.
I would have taken him, but the offense is not shaping up.
Yeah, One Pride is a Lions fan. He wanted Gibbs, and the other Lions fan. If you don't know One Pride, our father here is our Lions fan. So we got
1959.
Yeah, Lions fans. When we do our team videos, the Lions videos are always the ones that do the best. So Lions fans are passionate about their team for sure. As you see, Nico Collins get auto drafted. So we get Hurts Herbert start here is pretty damn nice for a super flex. Remember, it is a third round reversal, so it's going to go from the 212, and then Team 12 is going to get the 301. We kind of do that in super flex leagues. It just balances it out a little bit. When it's super flex and those top 3 teams are able to get one of those like Daniels, Allen, Burrow guys, it makes it so much. They just have such an advantage over the teams drafting at the 12 spot. So a way to kind of bring that a little bit closer is to do a third round reversal to where Team 12 is getting the 201 and 301 instead of the 201, 312. So hopefully it should balance it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that confusing. Look, you see how it just went?
I get that. I know what the reversal is, but you're
Yeah, I think it really does help to these back three teams. Well, I guess one got Caleb, but the back two, anyways. It's like, all right, they started off with no quarterbacks,
Yeah.
so
Bo Nix.
it definitely gives them an ability to grab one of these guys. I was considering getting my second quarterback, noticing that there's 4 teams that we're going to draft again before me without a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you don't need quarterbacks to start your team, but they are extremely hard to trade for.
They are, which is why whenever we do rookie drafts and say, hey, like, I know we're lower on these quarterbacks and Cam Ward and Shador Sanders, but cheapest place to get a quarterback after a startup is the rookie draft. It's 1 first-round pick, and it's hard to get the top 15, 17 guys with 1 first-round pick. So, yeah, and honestly, like these players, Gibbs, Neighbors, Bijan, Puka, Genti, they should probably be going over, a lot of these quarterbacks. So, you could reach for a quarterback here, and you might have to if it's not a 3rd-round reversal. But with the 3rd-round reversal, you can kind of take the players as they should, and draft there. So let's see who we got. It is a 1.25. I'm going to go another rookie here, Amarion Hampton, who I'm making the argument like he's going to push Genti potentially for the 101 in the rookie draft. If he gets, I think he's going to be a 1st-round pick. If he's a top 15 pick and he falls to a team like the Cowboys and Genti's on, let's say the Raiders, who's not a bad spot either, but you can make an argument. I think Hampton's that good. I really do think he's that good. So always hard to balance rookies in. Again, we always talk about it in startup drafts. Like your mind is on vet players, but I don't know if there should be that much of a separation between Genti and Hampton, to be honest. And I would take Hampton over Achan, by the way, at this point. If you guys have any questions in the chat, yeah, I think I would. If you guys have any questions in the chat, let us know. We'll answer them as we are doing a mock draft here. We're going 12 rounds. So yeah, any questions, trade questions, thoughts on the draft, life questions, whatever you want. If you're not in our Discord, by the way, join our Discord. We're putting together we got 2 real life, real money leagues that we have already set up. We're going to be drafting one of them here in 3 weeks. We're going to be live for the first 10, 12 rounds of that. And we're going to be live for that. So join us there. It's going to be a real money league. We're trying to put together potentially a 3rd one between now and whenever the season starts. We'll see. I think we got 4 or 5 people already up for it. So, join that, and you can get into that real money league if you want to add another dynasty team to your portfolio there. We got, let's see here. We got Higgins, McConkey. Higgins over McConkey for you, Brian?
I mean, I've got Burrow, so I get the stack for at least this year. I've seen it more from Higgins when he stays healthy. Not that McConkey's a bad choice at all, but we don't know what it's going to look like if he gets a little competition in there. I don't think it'll be the end for him necessarily, but I just kind of was like, yeah, Higgins, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about Mike Williams going back to the Chargers, and I know that's kind of fantasy irrelevant, but I thought, we always talk about the 1 year after the injury.
Mm-hmm.
So he had his 1 year last year.
Will you pause it real quick, Mike?
Pause it?
Yeah. Go ahead, Dad.
Yeah, with the Jets and the Steelers, and he didn't look worth a shit and everything else. So he's had his year, and I read a thing in LA Times saying, yeah, it wasn't a very good year and everything else, and he's ready. So hopefully he's had his 1 year of recovery and sucking, where he can be back to something with the Chargers. So.
Yeah, so I had you pause it because I'm kind of like looking at at this board, and I think I just wanted to talk this through a little bit. Like, I'm looking at all the available quarterbacks, and it's like there's one left that I feel a little bit more confident about than a lot of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I feel like, Purdy, Mayfield, Lawrence, Ward, Penix, not so much Goff, but, he's a little older, and McCarthy, they all have like a lot of question marks for this year. Like, this could be like their kind of make or break year for a lot of these guys. And that's a little hyperbolic, but not entirely. But I think the one guy that I feel the best about is Dak. So I'm going to go ahead and take Dak here as my second quarterback. I know it's a bit of a reach on according to ADP, but I just wanted to talk through that process a little bit.
Is there also an argument to say, hey, like Dak, Purdy, Mayfield, Lawrence, Cam Ward, Penix, Goff, McCarthy, Bryce Young, like I'd be happy with any of those guys as my QB2, even Tua, and just be like, they're all pretty similar. Maybe you have a liking towards one over the other, and maybe even pushing it another round, or you don't want to risk it there.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely like the other side of the coin for sure. There were some pretty attractive players there still too. Like if Taylor fell to me, I think I would have just taken Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
the dog got him at 2. That was kind of the plan. I already had a tight end, but you can always double up and flex them. But it's only a 2-start wide receiver or 2-receiver league, so it wasn't as important, I guess. Like I was looking at Rice. Like I'm going to try not to talk about players until they got picked, but I saw you just pick them. Like, oh yeah, Rashee Rice. Like I like that, but again, like these receivers are starting to definitely come off the board. So get in where you fit in.
Yep. Out of Rhythm Sports is here. And we're doing a startup mock draft. Kind of prepping for our listener leagues that are coming up, 12-team, Superflex, PPR, 1.25 tight end premium startup. Here, 5 flexes, so start 12. As you see, Ted McMillan. I thought about Ted McMillan at that spot. I was kind of interested what you guys think, like Rashee Rice versus Ted McMillan. It's a little harder. March 16th, if Ted McMillan gets top 10 draft capital, I could definitely see him going over Rashee Rice. But I think right now they're pretty similar. Similar ADPs there. So I don't know if you guys have one lean over the other. Take the proven asset that is coming off a knee injury versus a rookie that could go top 10, but also potentially could fall as well, like to the 20s, and I wouldn't be super shocked. So you guys can give your thoughts there, and then we'll get to what our rhythm here said.
Go ahead, Dan. The rookies better than I do.
Yeah, just let me.
He's on the clock, so
no, I'll take.
Well, we'll get back to that.
I'll take the proven guy before the rookie.
Yeah.
Wait, which team are you, Dad?
Huh?
Which team are you?
He's the retired gunner at the 10.
Oh, it just says Team 10 on mine. It doesn't say his name.
Oh, yeah, he's Team 10.
Oh yeah, I see it on our little screen here. Yeah.
So I kind of took that risk that I was saying like all these quarterbacks that just went, like, I have my rankings and who I like more than another one, but like I could see any of them being better than the other. I could see Ward being the best of all of them. I could see McCarthy. I could see Baker being it, and I kind of feel the same way a little bit about maybe not as strong. Like I definitely would have wanted one of those 7 guys that went as my QB2, but just a tick down from those 2 are the guys like Bryce Young and Tua. And so I took the risk. I took Rice and Bryce Young versus taking like Purdy and, I don't know, Travion Henderson or something like that. But
I just realized Dad took who I wanted, who I thought was going to fall back to me. Devontae Smith. But
you know what I'm seeing here is, to me, it looks like obviously the rookie running backs. I know there's only 2 of them that have been selected, but they're
3 now.
definitely kind of affected, the draft, I think, or the way it kind of lays out a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, there's been 3 of them now with Travion Henderson at
Okay.
the 105. It's again in March. It's so hard with rookies. Like until they get drafted, they're always going to be, in my opinion, values. Like Travion Henderson should not be as far away from. He should not be over 2 rounds after Marion Hampton. But it's just hard. It's just hard. Same with like Tyler Warren. I think that's great value. I mean, he's like the tight end 4 right now in Dynasty. So I don't know.
He hasn't done shit.
Yeah, but I mean that's just the nature of Dynasty, right? Like,
and by the way, he had 1 good year at Penn State, so
yeah, that is true. Theo Johnson was there. They had some good tight ends come out during that time. Theo Johnson, Pat Fryermuth. There was one more, I think. It wasn't necessarily like a star in the NFL, but like guys that were drafted and stuff like that. So
yeah. Penn State used to be known for linebackers.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so Adam Rhythm Sports says he thinks Breece Hall should go before Ashton Genty, and I wouldn't be shocked if like Breece Hall is better than Genty next year. But I think like you're at the point with Breece Hall, like if he doesn't do it what we want him to do next year, he falls significantly. Whereas Genty, he has a couple years, like you're going to give him a pass year 1 almost, not a complete pass, obviously, but and if he hits, he's like RB1, untouchable. I mean, he already kind of is, but like if he's just, if he's any type of good, like he's almost untouchable at that point. So that's my only argument there. You're getting younger, and how excited are we about Fields and Breece Hall together? I don't know. He's definitely not going to catch as many passes.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, there has to be more than to the Jets offense, they're then besides just Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson.
Oh, so. Yeah, I'm looking through.
And then like New England, like I said, they don't have anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I always draft terribly whenever we're live, but
it's a little harder.
Definitely is. Yeah. When we're actually doing a real draft, we're not going to be talking as much. That's for sure. We'll be a little bit more focused and stuff like that. But yeah, out of Rhythm Sports, I'll hop on for the March Madness stuff. I think that would be fun. I didn't know Sleeper does March Madness stuff. I'm sure they've sent me numerous updates about it, but yeah, I went Quinshawn there. I don't know. I thought about McCaffrey, but I think I'm going relatively young team here with May and Young, Hampton and Judkins, 2 rookie running backs, May and Jamar Chase there. Definitely need to, and Rashee Rice. So kind of going the young route there. But yeah, how are we thinking about round 6 there? Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy, Chuba Hubbard, Zay Flowers. I'm torn between Zay Flowers, like just any other team. If that guy's on any other team, like he's awesome, right?
Well, but just might be here soon.
Who, Flowers?
Yeah. Not because of rumors or anything, but well, I guess he's only in his 3rd year.
Going into his 3rd, yeah. And first round pick, so they can keep him for 5.
Yeah. I mean, do the Ravens really do that? I don't know.
On him, so.
Well, on the Ravens for sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he's that type of receiver too. I don't know if he's gonna be anything better than what you've seen.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts.
I kind of debated taking this guy as my QB2, and then he falls 2 rounds later. So I'll definitely snag up Tua there. I think that's pretty good value.
Yeah.
For Tua. And like they always say, you don't have to set your lineup in March, so don't worry about your lineup until September. You can figure it out. You have 6 months to figure it out between now and the week 1. So,
well, I'm really sad that Waddle just went right before me.
I mean, Waddle and Metcalf are not bad there. I mean, I know the Steelers don't have a quarterback right now, which is concerning, but I mean, I guess they have Mason Rudolph, if you're excited about that. By the way, what's up with the 49ers, like cutting Juszczyk and then bringing him back 2 days later? Like, what's going on there?
It must have been a
Contract
pay thing or something. I don't know. You don't usually see guys getting cut. They're usually saying, "Hey, I'm out of here," but I think Juszczyk knows. If he goes, I know there's other teams that use fullbacks, and there isn't a lot of them, but he knows how he's going to be used in San Francisco. So whatever happened, I guess, with the contract and the money and all that other shit. It's like, because they do use them. They do use them correctly.
I'm really liking Ultimate Tigers team here. Jaden Daniels and Kyler Murray, 2 rushing guys. Like, that's really good for your 1-2 punch. You got Brees Hall, Montgomery, and then you got Drake London, DJ Moore, and Emeka Ibuka. I think it's a pretty nice team there to start. And Loveland, obviously you have a couple rookies there. You gotta hope they hit, but I think that's pretty nice start in my opinion. Yeah, but the Juszczyk thing was weird. He can't be costing him that much money, right? I guess is my thinking. So, I see Jackson Dart off the board. Jordan Mason at the 7-11. Interesting. You guys like that Mason pick? I mean, I know he's going to be behind Aaron Jones, but it's probably going to be more of a 1-2 punch, right? And then
I believe so. There's another team that'll use, Kevin O'Connell there. He's going to use them correctly and stuff. So,
yeah. By the way, we have over 20 people watching, so make sure to hit that like button for us. Get some more eyes on this video now and after. Only thing we ask of you. There's other ways to support us, but that's the easiest, cheapest, and by cheap I mean free. Just hitting the like and subscribe button. If you are inclined to support us in other ways, you can super chat, you can be a member, but all we ask for is just a simple like and on the video. So appreciate you guys here on a March Sunday watching this mock. Man, there's some players where I just all right, I'm gonna
I know I was having a little bit of a hard time
too.
I was kind of like, which direction am I going here?
People are pretty low on Ayuk. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Ayuk was who I was looking at between him, and I was like, I don't have a running back yet. Not like you said, I don't have to fill my roster right now, and running backs are kind of the more fluid guys. And there's a lot of vets here that will get the job done for sure. So
yeah,
I still went with Pacheco. I think it could be, a short-term thing with him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he's going to be tied to a good offense, and the moves the Chiefs have made already with bringing back Kareem Hunt, signing Elijah Mitchell, kind of makes me think like, all right, like they're not drafting anybody, and that could be wrong,
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like if Pacheco takes over the situation, like we've seen in the past, like I think he'll be a good value as RB1.
Yeah, I was thinking about Caleb Johnson. I mean, he a lot of times he's like the 105 in drafts, and I know we've had at least 5 rookies go, probably a lot more than that. And there's another player that hasn't gone yet that I was thinking. I mean, Matthew Golden goes, which I think is a nice pick. Travis Hunter, so back-to-back rookies there for one pride. Yeah, just a lot. There's definitely one player where I'm really surprised, even at this point. And I guess I'll talk to him either after MJ Andrea's pick or my pick. Well, I guess it'll be my pick. It's hard for me to pass up on the value of another quarterback. Seemingly the QB2. Am I lagging? Because it's not making my pick for me.
And now you seem fine. It's
There we
okay.
go. I mean, Shador Sanders. Sorry, real quick, to have him go 4 rounds after Cam Ward, when I know we think Shador Sanders is going to fall, but like Shador Sanders could theoretically still be the number 1 pick in this draft, and he still could be a top 5 pick. He's very likely to be a first round pick. Like, I don't know. I can't really pass up on another quarterback there, even though it's my 4th. So, what are you gonna say, Dad? You're talking about Cooper Kupp?
No.
Oh.
I was just kind of coughing when you took Sanders.
Oh. Why? Because you didn't like it?
No,
Perfect.
it's fine. I think it's appropriate where he's at and stuff, or
Taking
9th round. Yeah, he's gonna play.
No, absolutely.
He's gonna be playing on some team,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what happens from there, we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying, just think of last year at this time, the same crap was going on about Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Oh, he can't throw the ball downfield and blah, blah, blah. And he just throws bubble screens. And look what we got there. Look at there. Devontae Adams in the 9th round.
Yes, sir.
That's a pretty good.
I'm just leaning in on the one.
I would have taken him over Mike Evans. I took Mike Evans, but.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen McMillan's interesting now with the Godwin coming back. Ricky Pearsall, I think, it's a pretty nice pick.
Scataboo.
If we're.
It's funny because I was looking at Pearsall too. I was kind of bouncing between those two guys, and I was like, Adams will be better this year, or I'm more confident in that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I got Tyreek and Pacheco in the last 2 picks, so I'm just gonna lean into it.
I would have taken Adams over Tyreek, man.
You could have.
I could have.
I guess my thinking is, like, if we're so low on Ayuk, well, who are we high on for the 49ers? Like, Ayuk's low. Pearsall to me is a little bit low. We haven't seen the other receiver. I don't want to, mention his name because he's not taken yet. Debo's gone. I know Kittle and stuff's there, but like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I think Pearsall is going to be good. Like, I think we saw a couple flashes last year. We wish we would have saw more, but the guy did get shot and stuff like that. So that definitely affected his beginning of the year. But I always mix up Ayuk and Stephon Diggs. Like, Stephon Diggs tore his ACL like after like 3 or 4 games. I forget that Ayuk played as much as he did. He played 7 games. He didn't do much in it, which maybe feels like why. But
terrible.
Because
he had one big game.
His contract all summer.
Yep. You see Kyle Pitts. I guess it's the auto pick. So Najee Harris is a good pick here. Like, at the very least, he's gonna get. Even if I still think they could draft someone, but he's gonna get used no matter what. No matter who they draft.
Signing the guard, Mekhi Becton, man, I swear you're gonna hear about all that in September and October and November. Oh, that was the smartest move, for them to, so for the Chargers to get.
I'm gonna go my boy Dylan Sampson. Probably too early for him, but I was running out of time. And yes, Matt says hit that like button. Appreciate you, Matt. Yeah, hit that like button for us. I think again we have over 20 people 7 likes. The ratio seems a little off there. I think we can get to 10, 15 likes there pretty easily. Out of Rhythm says he'd play the waiting game and take McCord if you want a rusher than Milrow. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if another quarterback outside of like, the top 3 in Ward, Sanders, and Dart. If there's anyone else that sneaks in there, I know we're all thinking it's Milrow, but if there's anyone outside of like, those are kind of the 4 names that you hear. Is there anyone else that's going to get in there in McCord or Howard or what's his face out of from Notre Dame, or I don't know. We'll see. Quinn Ewers, of course. You get Geno Smith as your QB3. I like it. I thought about it, but I passed up on another quarterback. I think what I'm going to do, might add a few more rounds because we're going through this a little fast. We're only 40 minutes in, so I think I'm going to add just 3 more rounds here. I think it will add at least.
Yeah. I like the Justin Fields pick in the 10th round too.
I did too.
I was looking at him, but I was thinking a little more. And he's the perfect example of this too. So it's not. I was going to say I'm thinking a little more win now. He is a win now guy for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Did it add for you guys or no? 3 more rounds?
Sure.
No, did it though? Because I think I did, but
I can't.
I only see the 12.
All right, I'm gonna pause when it gets to me and go from there, or a refresh and see what happens. You might need a refresh, so maybe you can't add it on in the middle of a draft. I don't know. Let me see here. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna refresh.
Live with it.
Hopefully, my internet's been kind of. Oh, it was for James. It added and said.
Okay. Yeah, and Paul said the same.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Refreshing.
Did you refresh?
I can.
Yeah, I can see him.
Yep. Yeah, just refresh everyone if you're in the.
Yep, it's there.
You're in the chat, and we're gonna we'll add a few more rounds and keep going here and get rid of that sound. Man. Let's see here. Who do we have? Still need a tight end. What kind of rookies we got here?
Yeah, I'm not entirely surprised, I guess, because like we are in that big glob of tight ends, Mike, that you like to talk about. But this is tight end premium, and I'm a little surprised. Well, maybe not. Maybe this is right around where they should be. But I've already taken 2. I just felt like Hawkinson in the 6th, 1.25 tight end premium was too good.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's getting a little bit of his last year held against him, coming off that injury, but
no, he did when he was playing, he did well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't even think he was bad when he actually played, but
no, he was
he's
came
definitely
back
all in.
Yeah, he came back real nice. So he only played like 4 games, maybe,
No, he played 10.
Hawkinson?
Yeah, 10 games, 41 catches, 455 yards.
Shit. Okay.
What do you guys think here? James says Stafford going after Geno is a crime.
A crime.
Yeah, I think I would have.
A misdemeanor or a felony?
I guess the argument for Geno is like Stafford. He got a contract. Did he get an extension, or did he just get like more money up front or something? I
don't know.
I guess he got. Yeah, he has like I don't know. To me, he's kind of like year to year. I guess he probably doesn't pass up on. He has a big number next year. He probably doesn't pass up on that. So I was going to say the argument for Geno is it feels like you have probably a couple more years with him, but maybe not.
They were talking about the Darnold contract today, saying it's basically a 1 year, $37 million, and that they can, even though they come out and say, oh, he gets a 3-year contract, it's that they can get out of it after 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way you should do it. That's what they did
Yeah,
with Baker.
kind of. Kind of.
I'm always, it's a prove it deal. I'm always curious about, like, sometimes you hear about these details right away, and sometimes they come out later.
I think what happens is on Monday and Tuesday, it's like all verbal, and then Wednesday when they can start signing contracts this past week, and then once the contracts get signed, and somehow sports talk nerds and things like that have access to them, they can read. There's a certain section of the contract I've heard, like Section 5, that's got all the details on money and guarantees and all that other stuff. So once people can read them, who understand them, and then you verbally hear about them, or you hear about it in the print and stuff like that. So
let me ask you guys Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, nothing. I just made a mistake there.
Oh, so we have, to me, there's kind of like, these are the three that are just standing out: Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp. Like, is it fair to say all three of those guys are like year to year at this point?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, like, isn't it interesting though that, like, I don't know, Cooper Kupp, who we talked about this over and over. If you look at before the fantasy playoffs, so weeks 1 through 14, I know he missed some time in there as well, but he was like the wide receiver 6 in points per game last year in PPR. And then he had that horrendous fantasy playoff, which everyone remembers, where he put up like a goose egg twice, I think, or yeah, he went 0, 2.4, 2.9 in the fantasy playoffs. Before that, he was like a top 6 or 9 wide receiver. I just think it's interesting that, like, I don't know, like, is he that much more done than a guy like Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams? Is it because, I mean, Tyreek Hill's coming off a bad year. Adams was good with the Jets. I think it's just interesting to see, the 4-round value between Hill and Kupp, the 2-round value of between Adams and Kupp. So I think Kupp can still be pretty good next year.
Yeah, I do too. He better be, for Darnold's sake.
Darnold better get him the damn ball.
Yeah, I think people might not realize, like, obviously he had Justin Jefferson, who was good, but Jordan Addison was like wide receiver 21 in points per game. Like, he supported 2 guys last year, maybe not 2 like top 10 guys, but a top 5 and a top 20 guy. I feel like I'm drafting terribly. Some nice rookies. I'm not in love with the veteran running backs. I'd probably pass on them. Screw it. We'll do a rookie here. I'm a big DJ Giddens fan. And not knowing where, any of these guys are being drafted yet. I'll go ahead and take them. Goff or Purdy for the next 3 years. Who you guys taking?
Goff. Don't ask me.
So 2 Goffs. Yeah, I'll go Goff. I keep saying it, and I'm going to look like a dumbass probably, but I just have this feeling between Purdy and the 49ers, there's like something potentially brewing there where they're not going to want to pay him $50 million, and they're not going to potentially move on from him. They brought in Mac Jones, who a lot of people rumored. Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. The front office wanted Trey Lance that draft year. And a lot of people thought they were going to go Mac Jones when they traded up for the number 3 pick, and then they went Trey Lance. And, like, is it crazy to say, like, 17 games of Purdy and 17 games of Mac Jones wouldn't look that different in the 49ers offense?
Yeah, but what is the team? Yeah, I think I agree with everything you're saying, and and that's been the narrative for the last week and stuff like that. That there was a lot of going back and looking, at how come, if you remember the build up to the draft, it was like, yeah, Mac Jones is a 49er. So, and then it didn't happen, and everybody went, what? now it has happened, and
Yeah. I mean, if you get, like I said, you get a full season of both of them, like how far apart are their actual stats going to be? I don't think they're going to be that far apart. If I'm being completely honest. I don't know. I don't really know. So yeah, I think we're all Goff there, Dick. I think we're all Goff there. It's close though. It's close enough to where, like, if you're talking about a trade, I would, and I have Goff, I would, and some guy values Goff more than Purdy, and they're willing to give me like Purdy plus something, like I would take it. If I could get I don't know where they went in this draft, how far apart, not very, only
2
a couple
spots.
picks.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about like at value, one goes one round before the other, I'd probably just take the one that goes one round later. So it's close enough to me for that.
Well,
I think
but you're taking Goff in the startup, like Dad did over Purdy.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would.
I
just took him out of Rhythm Sports, so I'm trying to take him. My internet's being shit right now. I like Elijah Roy. He's my tight end 3 in this draft class, so probably shouldn't have fallen that.
Right?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have fallen that far. But again, it's always hard when like these rookies don't have landing spots to really know how to value them compared to veterans.
All right, Dad, what do you think about this pick?
Right now, it looks wonderful. I think it looks pretty good for 13th round. The dude's probably the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Not if.
Well, no, I'm just saying right now. So.
What about Miles Sanders?
No.
That's true. What about?
Yeah.
What was the Deuce Vaughn?
Deuce Vaughn, yeah.
They can't find him. He's like 5'5" or something, And
Trenton says he feels like Arroyo is going to end up in Tennessee. They tried to have the athletic guy with Woods. Seems like a pivot when he gets injured all the time. You mean Woods from Indy, Trenton? Jelani Woods?
Okay.
Or Chigaconko, you mean in Tennessee? Dallas is going to be trash. R.I.P. to my boys.
Good. We know that.
I don't know. Like, Dak could easily bounce back. You have CeeDee Lamb. You bring either a running back in or you draft another weapon there. I don't know.
Is Cook still there?
I think he's a free agent.
And no one's jumping off the cliff to sign him.
No.
Yeah, he's not on the depth chart right here. He's 8 days ago. He said he's fully healthy. Just in case you guys were wondering.
That means he's available.
Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna take the value at these quarterbacks, and I'm gonna go Rodgers just because I think he could be better than. No worries, Trent.
No Team Rodgers.
I mean, it sounds like it's Steelers or Vikings, right? And I don't mind either
one of the Vikings.
I don't mind either one of those teams. I mean, I don't even mind the Giants, really. Like, if they get, grab another weapon in there or something.
Damn it.
Who'd you want?
Komet. Yeah, I was going to pick Komet. And, Jesus.
I mean, even Kelsey, in the 13th round at this point. I know he's old, whatever. Okay, but he still caught 97 passes last year. Tight end premium.
I was gonna take him as my third tight end. He's basically gonna be my flex.
Yeah,
I think similarly to quarterbacks, tight ends are gonna be really hard to acquire. In a league like this, and I know we're not playing this out or anything like that, but it's definitely something to think about. Oh shit!
Everyone pay.
Huh?
How about Isaac Guerrero? Now that Jordan Mason's gone, Elijah Mitchell's gone, and I know Out of Rhythm I think brought it up that he, a little while ago he should be drafted since Mason's gone with the help of CMC. I think Guerrero's a really damn good pick.
Yeah,
I need to. Yeah, go ahead.
the guy who's up right now, MJ Andrea. I don't know how to say that. Maybe the M is silent. He's got McCaffrey back in the 6th round, and I think I would have picked him up, honestly.
Yeah.
I would have picked up Garendo just to lock that in, because like we always say, the running back for the Niners is going to be a valuable piece no matter who it is.
Yep.
So all that quarterback talking, so I decided to scoop up Russell Wilson.
What if? Yeah, I mean, there's still some good players. Yeah, I really need to have like my some rankings up when I do these, and it's just gonna make my life a lot easier. I try and do it without it.
What's the deal with Russ and the Steelers? Like,
I guess they don't want him.
They want Rodgers.
Yeah, I think we're waiting for the Rodgers.
And Rodgers wants to go to the Vikings.
I mean, shit.
Terrible pick.
The Steelers don't have a quarterback, so
I would definitely not do a dynasty startup and not take a wide receiver for 7 rounds or something to end my draft. But
say that again.
No, I went. My last wide receiver was taken around 8. Like, I definitely wouldn't do that in a real startup, I don't think. So it's just me kind of focusing on the chat and talking and not paying attention. San Francisco will draft they always draft the running back, right? They always draft a 4th round, 3rd round running back.
Yeah, that's why they got rid of Jordan Mason, because they'll say, hey, we can. I don't know what kind of draft pick they got, a 5th or a 6th or something like that.
So they had. So 2024 they took Garendo. 2023 they didn't draft the running back, surprisingly. 2022 they took Tyrion Davis Price, RIP. Not that he's passed away, but he just didn't do anything, and he was a little bit of a James, we can go over some of these teams real quick and give our thoughts. Brian, you can start with the Ultimate Tiger there. I highlighted it. By the way, 2021 Trey Sermon for the 49ers. So overall thoughts on Ultimate Tiger. He has Daniels, Murray, Derek Carr, Breece Hall, Montgomery, Scattaboo, Rashad White, London, DJ Moore, Abuka, Downs, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Royals. I like that pick. And then Ingram and Loveland. I think it's a good team there.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little. I mean, obviously, it's just like a mock, and you like where these guys fall and stuff. But I think the rookie picks in 8 and 9 kind of throw off the team a little bit. Obviously, they could hit, but I think I would have just leaned a little bit more into win now guys, because you've got a nice foundation regardless.
But think about it so Abuka is basically a 1st round pick in dynasty and rookie drafts. So you would take a 1st round pick for most of these guys taken after, for sure. Pacheco, Jaden Reed, Judy, maybe not Ayuk. Go back and forth there. So sometimes it's the value and stuff, but
yeah, I get it.
They're easier to trade away. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, Kev, we'll get to your question here. We'll look at these teams. We'll spend just a few minutes. Don't want to spend too long going over all of them because we could talk for days. But if you guys have any questions, start putting them in the chat. We'll get to them here at the very end. Next, Dad, we have the Dogs. We have Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe. We have Jonathan Taylor, Jordan Mason, Jalen Warren. And then JSN, Lad McConkey, Ricky Pearsall, Elikayo Manor, Christian Kirk, Jalen Knoll, and then Tyler Warren, Isaiah Likely. Do you have a favorite pick from this team?
Dad?
Oh, he's muted.
Oh.
Lame.
Sorry, I was muted. Favorite pick, probably Josh Allen, of course. He's gonna yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. Tyler Warren in the 5th round. I don't know, man. That would be.
I like the Ricky
we're
Pearsall
expecting.
pick.
We're at. I guess we're expecting him to, be plug and play, come right in, and stuff like that. And I don't know, just takes a little while, I guess. So
maybe, but last 2 years we have seen basically 2 rookie tight ends be Laporta and Powers.
It's a little weak on running backs.
Yeah, but not bad. Like with JT, Mason, and Warren, those guys can, if they're all healthy, can probably get you through. Team 3 sucks. No, we won't go over our own teams, but next team here, Team 5, Hurts and Herbert. I love that start. Then you get Bucky Irving, Travion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, J.K. Dobbins. I think that's pretty good there. Especially, I like that Kenneth Walker pick a lot. A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Michael Pittman, Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper. You got Tucker Kraft, Kelsey, and Mason Taylor, the rookie. I think this is I really like this team. I mean, you probably want a QB3. I don't know who else is still out there that we didn't draft. I can't really look, but probably going to want to get a QB3 at some point. But I like the Waddle pick. I know you like that pick, Brian.
Yes.
Probably would have gone someone over Jaden Reed, but if you believe in the guy, like he can definitely, pay off for sure if they ever want to give him more than 60% of the snaps. For Andrea's team, Brian, we got Love, Lawrence, McCaffrey, Mixon, Caleb Johnson, who's as high as like the 105 sometimes in rookie drafts. Trey Benson, RJ Harvey, another rookie. Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Ted McMillan, Trey Harris, Cedric Tillman, David Njoku, Primus. Pretty good team. I really like this team too.
Yeah, my favorite.
I like his tight end combination there. His only dilemma will be which one do I start?
Start both.
You could, but I just think those 2 guys, they kind of cover the tight end.
Well, yeah.
I like the upside Justin Fields pick in the 10th.
Yeah, I do too. I want
like
him. So, but
it's like the other 2 QBs are more stable assets, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like going out on too much of a limb to say Justin Fields is a volatile asset, but if he plays all 17 games, he'll probably finish ahead of both of those guys.
Yeah, he's not volatile when he's playing, right? Like, it's just if he's going to play, which we assume he is. QB7 last year in points per game, Justin Fields, in the 6 games he played. So the dude just, he knows how to do it for sure. Then we got One Pride, we got CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield, Ashton Genty, Chuba Hubbard, Charbonnet, Dowdle, Vishal Tootin, which you can make some cool team names with. Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Jordan Addison, Matthew Golden, Travis Hunter, Jacoby Myers. I like that wide receiver value there. Addison, Golden, Myers, and then Hunter, if he plays wide receiver, is an absolute steal. And then you got, got some question marks at tight end, but you got a guy who's the tight end 1 for Jacksonville right now. And then you have a rookie who, could potentially hit. So, I think it's a solid team. I mean, starting off with Neighbors and Genty, you got the wide receiver 3 and the RB3 in Dynasty. It's hard to argue that start there. And you kind of survived with Stroud and Mayfield as your quarterbacks too, without taking quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds. So
yeah, that worked out well.
Maybe another running back you want there, but like you'll probably get something out of Charbonnet, Dowdle, and Tootin, to be your RB3, those 3 guys. So
Dowdle is, then he has to be his 2 because Chuba's hurt or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I mean, at least you're guaranteed those 2 guys. And again, you only have to start 2 running backs, and they're the easiest to find and acquire for sure. So, and then Benjamin has Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Stafford. Who, by the way, Dad, you're going to jail for taking Geno over Stafford. I do like probably Stafford over Geno though, but only just a few picks apart. We got Bijan, Kyron, ETN, Bigsby. So you got that locked up for now. Blake Corum and Garendo. I think that's a really good running back room. Then you got Puka, Zay Flowers, Godwin, Leggett go. So weaker in the wide receiver room for sure. But that's the sacrifice of you could start. Obviously Bijan, Kyron, one of the Jags guys, maybe Garendo if he goes down. Kittle and Ferguson. So maybe is there something else you would have done here? Another wide receiver you would have grabbed, or do you think it just kind of fell that way to him and that's the way he went? What do you guys think? I don't know if there's any areas where
I didn't notice anything. I wasn't really paying attention towards the end of the draft, at the turns on that side. Mm-hmm. I was just looking through who I wanted to take. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. You start off with 2 running backs in your first 4 picks, so that is going to just push your receivers down naturally. I like where he got Kittle. I think that's great. So I think he can make it up in other ways.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's hard to say you should have gone, taken this receiver here. It just kind of fell that way a little bit. So, but yeah, Kev, to get back to what you were saying here, and we appreciate everyone drafting with us. We'll be live. We go live multiple times throughout the week, rookie drafts, dynasty startups, and all that. So join us for all of those. But I don't think Jordan Mason's going to cook Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is one of those guys who he can do it on limited touches. He last year was the most, I think, touches he's ever had in a season. He's probably better off as a 230 touch guy rather than a 300 touch guy. And the big thing is, because Aaron Jones is going to catch the ball, does he also get the touchdown opportunities? I think that's going to be the determining on whether or not Aaron Jones can still be top 15 versus he's more of a low end RB2. So, but I don't think so. I don't think he is. I think it's going to be 65, 35, 60, 40 Aaron Jones. And that's probably how you want it, to be honest, so that Jones doesn't get hurt. So I don't think he's necessarily cooked. But you probably can't trade him, right now because his value is going to be a little bit low. Do you guys think Jordan Mason's taking over Aaron Jones?
No,
I think if they're both healthy, they'll be complementary.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
A lot better than I don't even know who RB number 2 for the Vikings was last year.
Cam Akers.
Yeah,
and Ty Chandler.
Yeah, just looking at it, last year, Jones played. Yeah, Jones played 62% of the snaps last year. So he didn't need 70, 75%. He did it in 62%. Not only 3 games I see, 3 or 4 games over 70%, maybe a couple more. So, I think you're fine there. Now, would you trade the 307 for Jordan Mason?
I would,
no.
Especially if I had Aaron Jones.
I think I would.
Yeah. Why not?
I'm sorry. The 307 in a rookie draft?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he just got a contract, which isn't, it's not a huge one, but that means he should be at least the 1B in Minnesota for the year, But he's got how old's Aaron Jones now? 30.
31.
31. I feel like his birthday's late. I don't know why. I feel like I know that.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
Yeah,
December 2nd.
Yeah, so he's backing up, a 30-year-old running back, basically, potentially. And yeah, like we just said, I think they're going to be in a pretty complementary role. So that could be valuable in the offense that seems to operate even with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, no, I would do it. And there's a very good chance Aaron Jones misses 3-4 games, and even those 3-4 games of a starting running back is probably worth a late, mid to late 3rd round pick. Plus, you have the upside of I know they paid Jones for 2 years, but I'm not sure what the details of that contract is. It could be just a 1 year type of thing, and then Jordan Mason, becomes the main guy. So, yeah, I'm fine with doing that. Big lessons we learned from this draft taking into our upcoming real money drafts we have. My big one is to make sure I have some rankings up of mine and to follow that and not talk as much. And that rookie picks, because we're drafting kickers as rookie picks. So we're not drafting rookies themselves, we're drafting kickers. They're probably going to find value in those, just because it's going to be hard for people to value them compared to vets. So I think there's going to be value in these rookie picks is when we look back at it in a year or so. So do you guys have any thoughts at all?
Yeah. Well, I think kind of what you mentioned when we first talked about Ultimate Tigers teams is an important way to kind of keep your head wrapped around stuff about Ibuka. If he's going in the first round and look at all the guys who got drafted after him.
Yep.
Or even, basically all the guys who got drafted after him. And it's like, well, who are you trading a first for? Like that's kind of a good way to think about it, start assigning names to these draft picks where you would take them. And then you can kind of slot them in a little bit easier, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Johnson's the same. Like he goes like the 105, 106 in a lot of rookie drafts. Matthew Golden has moved up into like that 106 to 108 range, and he's going, at the 811, so definitely some value there. And also don't draft with so many Lions fans. No, we love Lions fans.
Do you think this represents where Genty and Hampton go in a startup?
I think Genty, yes. I think he's right around that 1-2 turn. Anywhere from there to like mid-second is probably as far as he should go. Hampton, I think, could go a little higher. Although I had it in my mind that how many picks was it? The 202 to the 307. So basically what, around? Maybe Hampton a little bit higher. Like let's say you're drafting like in July. It's hard without knowing where they're going to go. But, let's just say Hampton is a first round pick. To me, he's a lock at the 102 in a rookie draft. And he should probably be going you should probably be arguing like him versus guys like, Barkley, potentially Garrett Wilson and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe he's going right where he should be. Maybe slightly earlier, but definitely not much later than that. How would you guys feel? Like, let's say Hampton goes. Let's say he goes to the Broncos, 20th overall. 20th overall. Broncos don't have anyone there really. Although didn't they bring someone in? But I don't think it was a big name. Like, how would you compare him to Achane? Are you taking H just straight up? Would you take Hampton, first round pick on the Broncos? Is like, a lot of people say could be, a lot of people are saying now, not a lot, but some people are saying like he's the RB1 in this draft. How would you feel about him versus Achane?
In that scenario, I would, Hampton before Achane.
Yeah.
So that's just my thought, especially with Denver. And not saying, so I'm just thinking they need somebody, they're trying to build their offense around their rookie, their young quarterback and stuff like that. Big, strong running game is part of that.
Yeah.
I'm taking Achane. No notes.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like, I'm trying to think like, no, I mean, I don't think there's a wrong answer necessarily. Like when you compare Hampton to Breece Hall, for example, And the argument for me for Hampton is, again, like, if Brees Hall puts up another season like he did last year, he falls, pretty significantly. Whereas I don't think Achan's going to do that. I don't think Hampton's going to do that. So I think they're a good comparison, but I do think there's an argument that Hampton's just a better overall back. And I am curious about Miami and how much they use HN, although he only played 60% of the snaps. Not like I think because of the lack of Mostert production, you think HN played a lot more, but 60%. I don't know. I don't think there's a wrong answer there.
I think what you're really worried about with HN is Alexander Madison.
Oh yeah. Now Jalen Wright would be over.
Yeah, they got a Tennessee rookie there last year. I don't remember what he did.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. But they got rid of Mostert. I don't know if you guys noticed, I drafted Jalen Wright in the 14th round.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Suck it. It's
a good pick.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not even worried about like health with HN. Like, he stayed healthy last year and McCaffrey didn't. And name all, Jonathan Taylor missed time, and name all these big running backs that get hurt. Like, I think there's a little bit overblown on like, oh, he's small, he's going to get hurt, So, and they didn't really use him that much. Like 280 touches is not a lot. And he can put up, like he did, 1,500 yards total with 280. So, but yeah, it's interesting to talk about, and we got a few weeks to kind of prepare for our real money leagues coming up. Again, the first one is probably going to be happening in 3 weeks from now. This time in 3 weeks, April 6th, around 7 Eastern time, we're going to go live for our real money league, the first 10, 12 rounds or so. And then we'll turn it into a slow draft. If you want to join one of our real leagues, whether redraft or dynasty, join our Discord. That's how you get in those. And join us. We'll probably be live again for sure Wednesday night. Maybe Monday. I might go live tomorrow. We'll see. And with some rookie drafts and stuff, we'll continue the rookie content. And we are 38 days, 23 hours, 37 minutes away from the NFL draft. So not that long, but appreciate everyone. Any last words, guys?
No, I need to get on some serious. These mock drafts are helpful for me because I am still behind the 8 ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dad, go Lions. Is that your last words? Or
no? Like, drink green beer, man.
Oh yeah, it's
that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
The real St. Patty's Day, but I'm sure everybody's been celebrating all weekend.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But we will finish up there. Appreciate everyone. See you guys in the Discord and in the next live.